It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of October 18th, 1996. Basically about half of what we had last time, which was 11 movies. We only have 5 movies to look at today. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, and that is Barry Levinson's star-studded legal crime drama, Sleepers.
Academy Award-winning director Barry Levinson brings you the powerful saga of 4 friends reunited for the ultimate story of revenge.
You still sleep with the light on? What do you say, Mike? Payback time.
Critics are calling Sleepers powerful, riveting, stunning, unforgettable. Hoffman and De Niro are Oscar-worthy. Sleepers, based on the controversial bestseller, rated R, now playing at a theater near...
I mean, just that cast alone, you got Kevin Bacon, Jason Patric, Brad Pitt, Robert De Niro, and Dustin Hoffman. And then you add in people like Minnie Driver, Brad Renfro, Jeffrey Donovan, Terry Kinney, Bruno Kirby, Billy Crudup. There's a ton of really good people in this movie. And Barry Levinson wrote and directed this movie, and usually he is very good with these type of films. And he actually does a pretty good job here. I won't say it's one of his best movies overall. It has kind of a formulaic story about revenge, kind of, but it is fine for what it is. I've never read the book this is based off of. I remember seeing this movie about, 5-6 years ago. I thought it was actually pretty good. I think these actors really do a good job working off of each other. There's a really good story here that works very well here. It's a nice revenge story. It's a really solid film overall. It definitely delivers what it promises with the material given here. And it's a pretty good film. Very formulaic at times. It's been there, done that before, but it is overall a pretty good film. I think it's one of Levinson's more underrated movies, obviously, because this is a film that I don't hear a lot of people really talk about when they talk about Barry Levinson's best works. This isn't quite up there with some of those films, but this is definitely still a really good movie. I definitely say check it out. So with that said, on to the next movie, and that is Spike Lee's Get on the Bus.
I'm going to the Million Man March. It's time to get on the bus.
On October 16th, the 1-year anniversary of the Million Man March.
How do you work things out without the sisters?
Director Spike Lee welcomes you aboard
I'm telling you to back off. That's what I'm telling you.
on a journey of discovery.
Freedom now!
It's time for the brothers to work it out.
Get off the bus. A Spike Lee joint. Rated R. At theaters Wednesday, October 16th.
Yeah, coincidentally, this came out 1 year after the famous Million Man March in 1995. And for Spike Lee, it was a nice return to form for him. After he had a couple of stumbles with Crooklyn, Clockers, and Girl 6, this is a nice return to form to him. That may be one of his best movies that nobody really knows about. It kind of came and went, but it really is a movie that I don't think gets enough recognition. I'm really happy that I found it recently. It is an engaging and entertaining drama that has such a strong cast involved with it. This is another movie that has an amazing cast. I mean, Charles S. Dutton, Ozzie Davis, Isaiah Washington, Harry Lennox, Andre Braugher, Hill Harper, Bernie Mac. It does a good job of using the Million Man March as part of its basis for the premise, and creates an effectively done script by Reggie Rock by the Wood, who had done New York Undercover at the time. It's probably one of, if not Spike Lee's most underrated film as a filmmaker, combining a good script, great ensemble cast, an engaging, entertaining drama, creating very likable characters, a good setting that makes for a good movie in the end. This is one that not a lot of people really talk about, but it's one I'd highly recommend checking out. If you want to see some of Spike Lee's best works overall, this is definitely one of his best ones. It's one of his more underappreciated works, and certainly beats the crap out of Girl 6 from earlier in the year. This is definitely a strong improvement over that film. So, yeah, I highly recommend checking out Get on the Bus. So, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the next movie, and that is To Gillian on Her 37th Birthday.
Do you know about this weekend? An anniversary. It's the anniversary.
You are fixing me up with a man on the weekend anniversary of his wife's death, which also happens to be her birthday.
I'm sure that we'll all laugh about it over dinner.
Every year, the Lewis family celebrates Jillian's birthday.
The plan is to get me over Jillian. It's been 2 years. I'm not over her.
With music in the night.
I love this song. You make me feel like dancing. I want to dance tonight.
Castles in the sand.
I want to beat Megan Weeks. I've lost to her 3 years running. She's ungracious. She's arrogant. She's 9.
And romance in the air.
I feel like... Oh, Daddy. Hi.
You're drunk. Okay, say goodbye to Joey forever.
Goodbye. Goodbye forever, Joey. Call me.
But this year,
Mommy, you talked
to her like she's right in front of you.
Well, it's...
Sometimes there's someone unexpected at the party.
You're okay, Mr. Man.
I miss you.
Go play with the live girl! In your psychology classes, do they have a name for this kind of behavior? Oh, yes. He's nuts. He will be all right. It's just, he really loved her.
To Gillian on her 37th birthday.
Does Gillian appear to you out there on the beach?
Yes, she does.
You swim with her?
Yes.
Is she naked?
Yeah, a film that definitely has its heart in the right place. You basically have a story of a father and daughter struggling to come to terms with the tragic death of their wife and mother, who is in this movie played by Michelle Pfeiffer. The father is played by Peter Gallagher, and the daughter is played by Claire Danes. And it's a script by David E. Kelley, and David E. Kelley usually is very good. I really like a lot of his stuff, but man, this just feels like a movie that is very manipulative. It feels like a film that has not a whole lot of life to it, honestly, quite literally. I mean, it doesn't feel like a film that really knew exactly what it wanted to tell. And it doesn't help that David E. Kelley and Michelle Pfeiffer were married at the time of this. They still are, but it's one of those things where you never work with your spouse, and this is one of those examples why, because I feel like there should be so much more here that should work about this movie, but it just doesn't work as well as I think they wanted it to. I think there's so much there that it doesn't really... there's no real flow to the story overall. It doesn't really work very well. It feels very manipulative. It feels like an Oscar baitish type of performance. I will say the one constant in this movie is the younger actors really do get their chance to shine here. I mean, not only Seth Green, Freddie Prinze Jr., but Claire Danes as well. And this came out a couple weeks before she would star in Romeo and Juliet, where she really got a chance to show what she could do. But as far as this film goes, it's kind of a major disappointment, especially with the talent involved here. A story that could work, but you needed a fresher script, and you needed some better ideas to kind of make this stand out on its own. For what it is, this is something you'd see on Lifetime in the middle of a Sunday afternoon, and it probably should have just stayed as a Lifetime original movie, but yeah, it should have been a lot better considering the talent that they have on board here. So that's to Gillian on her 37th birthday. Now let's get to probably the best movie of the entire weekend, which is Swingers with Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau.
Swingers is the most fun you'll have at the movies this holiday season.
I don't want you to be the guy in the PG-13 movie everyone's really hoping makes it happen. I want you to be like the guy in the rated R movie.
Entertainment Weekly calls it a terrific new comedy. It's so exhilarating it makes you want to applaud. It's hugely original and laugh-out-loud funny.
Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
It's the year's most winning comedy.
So how long do I wait to call? 2 days is like industry standard.
Swingers, rated R.
Well, how long are you guys going to wait? 6 days?
Now playing select cities.
Of course, this film was also the launching point for Doug Liman, who went on to become a top action director with The Bourne Identity and later Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and it was a really good film. It's a really solid film with these breakout performances, not only Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn. Steven Spielberg saw him in this and say, hey, I want to cast you in The Lost World Jurassic Park, and that kind of catapulted his career. It also kind of brought the swing revival back into the 1990s. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy took advantage of that, and the movie is just slick. It's very funny. It's the movie that I think a lot of people were trying to copy with Pulp Fiction. They wanted to make the next Pulp Fiction. This was the next Pulp Fiction, and it did have a lasting legacy to it. I mean, when Cartoon Network is doing a bumper that is literally a parody of a scene from this movie with Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, you know you've definitely gone somewhere.
No messages. Leave a message.
Hello, Brunhilde. This is Elmer. I met you tonight at the bowling alley. I just wanted to say I had a great time, and I'd love it if you'd call me. My number is...
Leave a message.
555-3833. That's it. I just want to leave my number. Okay.
Leave a message.
I just got out of a very serious relationship with a girl who turned out to be a wabbit, and that's why I'm acting so weird. It's not you. It's me. This is Elmer. Oh, Fudd.
Leave a message.
I don't think this is working out.
Elmer,
Brunhilde? Great.
don't ever call me again.
I mean, no kid knows what Swingers is, but you pretty much cemented your legacy as a lasting impact film by having that happen to you. But I got nothing else to say about this movie, man. It's a fantastic film, very slick, very funny, very stylized for the time. It's an amazing film, a great cast. I mean, like I said, Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn, Ron Livingston, Alex Dessert, Heather Graham, Brooke Langdon, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's in here, Ahmad Ahmed, Stephen Gaghan, just Roger Cumbo and Mike White also have uncredited cameos in here. I got nothing else more to say about this movie, man. This is a really damn good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I really think you will not be disappointed by this movie at all. It's a great film. It's one of those must-see movies, honestly. Swingers. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the last movie. Christopher Eccleston and Kate Winslet in Jude.
It takes 2 or 3 generations to do what I try to do.
I'm still Joseph, the dreamer of dreams. Sometimes there isn't Stephen. Sees heaven open up even as they're stoning him.
Based off the novel of the same name, you have this guy who goes to the city in the 1800s England, attends a university but marries early and becomes a stonemason, and when his wife leaves him, he moves to the city and he actually befriends her cousin, Sue, played by Kate Winslet. And that's pretty much all I know about the movie. Like I said, it's based off of a novel by Thomas Hardy, Jude the Obscure, and it's one of Christopher Eccleston's earlier film roles, I think. I don't think he really cemented himself as a leading actor at this point. I could be wrong on that. Don't get me wrong. If I am, I'm sorry for that. But he has said in the past that of all the films he's done, it's the one he stands by. It's the one he'd like people to come back to, and the rest of them is much of a muchness. And I'd come back to it except I haven't seen it before. I never even knew it even existed until I did the research on this weekend. I don't doubt it's probably pretty good. I mean, it's just probably a very good film, a really good cast. It's got some good reviews for it. Directed by Michael Winterbottom, who also did 24-Hour Party People. A lot of really good movies that are very underrated films. The Mighty Heart comes to example. He's a pretty solid director, and I wouldn't doubt this is actually a pretty good film. But like I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't really say if it's good or not. So, came out this weekend, got to talk about it. So that is Jude. So with that said, that wraps up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll wrap up October with 7 movies, including John Lovitz in High School High, Stephen King's Thinner, Whoopi Goldberg in The Associate, 12th Night, The Sun Chaser, When We Were Kings, and Normal Life. So 7 movies to look at next time around. We'll delve into those on the next episode. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, take care.